Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 21st of January. So for those that are watching this live at 7:50, if you've got questions, fire away in the live chat there, but otherwise I'll press on. Now obviously fundamentally we've got some data out today. We've got the Bank of Japan where they've already released some data. We've seen some Australian data actually. I forgot about the unemployment data when I was listing the important things today. Australian unemployment fell to 6.6%, but employment change stayed as expected at 50k, or I say came in at forecast at 50k. Bank of Japan still waiting for some of the conference details, etc. on that, but it looks like they're going to continue with their monetary stimulus policies. So nothing's going to be changing there. It looks like that's for some time. It says too early to consider an exit from it, so quite some time. And of course, Japan has seen a tighter lockdown recently, so I don't expect anything to change there. Funny I could put my teeth back in this morning. Monetary policy statement from Europe comes out at 12:45 this afternoon. I don't think there'll be major changes. There's little they can really do in apart from again confirm that they won't be doing any changes, reducing things anytime soon. It's whether or not they can create any more stimulus. We'll see. That's at 12:45, and then we've got the press conference at 1:30. Aside of that, really, we've got to wait until 9:45 for a bit of PM if you really want to hold around for New Zealand inflation. But I should go to bed. Right. Okay. So that's the data coming out today. We just a reminder, we have got 2 free days coming up in our live trading room. So rather than just come in here, you can come and join us for 2 free days. I will put the link on. It's on the bottom of this page, so you will be able to get that, and I'll just put it in the chat session there. So if you want to come and join us, there's the link to come and join us next week for 2 days. Right, there's an alert tension. Right, okay, let's have a look at the technicals here then. And what we've got here, dollar index, looking at the futures here, just looking at dollar index here, it's broken its sort of near-term trend here. It was bouncing around a bit yesterday. It's broken. It is certainly looking softer than the euro, for example. The euro had obviously we're looking at the euro strength here relatively. Euro actually fouled a little bit yesterday, lost a bit of strength, gave some back, but it seems to be bouncing at the moment. Whether this is going to continue, we'll see. Consolidated yesterday, I was wondering whether we would see a continuation at one stage, but it just wasn't to be. We got that sort of retracement, but again, now it's a question if we can break that 121.60 area. Well, this becomes a significantly more bullish because we've got a more significant higher low at that point. So that would really change things, I believe. A consolidation around this area, or more consolidation around this area, which is quite possible, particularly with the ECB meeting this afternoon. It leaves it really quite open, and a break to the lower side here could always set up. I mean, it's as I said many times lately, the euro isn't particularly outperforming a lot of its peers. It's doing quite well this morning, but there's no great significant. It's not doing massively well against some of its other peers there. Right, so euro at the moment it's actually pitching down south a little bit. We'll see how it holds up this morning, but with the ECB meeting, it may be one that could be left today. Okay, the pound. Pound yesterday put in yet another new high. Couldn't hold on to the gains. It's really struggling with these highs in terms of holding onto them. It'll be interesting with pushing up. As I'm looking at this at the moment, it's pushing back towards those highs now. I mean, these are as high as it's been since about 2018. So it's quite significant. Yesterday, all we had was sell orders piling into this movement here. I mean, it broke through a load of sell orders, to be fair, but couldn't hold on to the gains, rolled over. It'll be interesting to see what you can do today. At the moment, as I said, it's pushing up there. A a break above this area and a hold above this area would be much more bullish for the pound. Coming back to that dailies, if you look at the sort of the range it's been sitting in, it's often been pushing into its sort of upper channel line on here. That could be in store if it can hold above the current highs. And I sort of remain bullish on it on retracements. It's at the moment it's looking quite solid. Dollar yen, well, okay, it's just hanging into this mean sort of level all of the time. It's not really running too far away. I've not adjusted this mean, by the way, just so it looks like it's hanging into it. It's just where it is. Sold back into that level this morning. It's selling off a little bit here, the dollar, but well, maybe getting a morning retrace. It's early at the moment, but a break of the trend line here, maybe seeing the yen push back up. Certainly the Bank of Japan does not like seeing a strong yen like this and won't want it to be pushing off too much further south, so we could see some sort of comments coming through which will shape this up, give it a weaker stance against the US dollar. Okay, Aussie dollar. Let's come out here, Aussie dollar then. So what we've got here, really, it's well, trying its best to push back up towards towards its monthly R1, to its highs. It struggled a little bit in terms of some of this price action. It did break its trend yesterday and finally got a bit of a move on there. It was very slow until sort of later afternoon when it got the kicker there at 3 o'clock, and off it went, and it was sort of a bit more solid from there. But it's struggling. As I say, jobs data came out this morning. It's okay, it's looking like where it should be ish, but or where it's expected to come in, but it's taken a sell-off at the moment, and well, we have got an untouched daily pivot which it could find its way all the way back to, looking at the way it's moving at the moment, and with the support of the prior high there, that might provide a bit of support for a bounce. I'm really not overly keen on being short in the Aussie at the moment. I think it's got some potential, but these commodity currencies, only the New Zealand, I don't know, the Aussie's not doing too bad. It's only softer than the pound and the New Zealand dollar itself. New Zealand dollar strongest currency this morning, then the pound, then the Aussie dollar. Euro holding in there, but and the weakest really looking towards, well, the Swiss franc's the weakest this morning here, but apart from that, we are really looking at the CAD, yen, and well, then the US dollar itself. So all looking relatively, it's a bit of a mixed bag there in the soft, who's fighting to be the softest or weakest currency. But well, Aussie dollar, as I said, is it's still against most of its other peers, still sitting there quite strong. Okay, exception New Zealand dollar. Canadian dollar, we saw data out yesterday. Didn't make a significant difference. No cuts to the rates that very few people were expecting. I think it's more trying to get people to go the other way on this Canadian dollar. Anyway, it strengthened up. It's back into its monthly S1 area, trying to break through, but just finding there's a bit of support around that area at this stage. We could just see a bit of dollar retracement this morning. There's got a daily pivot above there on the Canadian dollar for it to be targeting. Not much in terms of risk and reward on that, but again, subject to the time of day, that may just give a sell point on that Canadian dollar, holding on quite well. Okay, looking at other markets, S&Ps. So the S&P's just well holding on to its gains. Once again, new highs. Joe Biden's quite popular in terms of the equity markets, and Janet Yellen being part of the team, etc. This should be we should see these equity markets continue to push up. Yesterday I was talking to people and they were suggesting they've been looking for months to sell the S&Ps. Personally, I've been waiting for a decent retracement to buy them. I mean, they're not going to go south anytime soon, in my opinion. Short term, yeah, they may have a day or so, or maybe even a week, but they may just be opportunities to buy these equity markets at the moment. They are really flying, and it's a good way to lose your money betting against them at this stage. Gold is, well, consolidating around where it is at the moment. It's managed a little bit of a bounce from the levels. I'm just sort of looking at these sort of dailies. It's yesterday very tight old day to yesterday, day before yesterday, Tuesday was a very tight old day. Yesterday did actually manage a bit more of a surge there in the afternoon, but just consolidating. Gold seems to benefit on the lower dollar prices, and if the dollar does drop off some more, well, gold may pick up some more. Not a keen trader of it at the moment. I think it's just too whipsawy. As soon as you get any sort of news, I mean, if you're trying to be, maybe the longs will come through a little bit more and we'll see the dollar roll over, but I'm just seeing so many people losing money on it, so I tend to steer clear. Finally looking at almost finally looking at oil here then, and what have we got? Just coming back to the dailies first. Sorry, there we go. Oil yesterday tried to pitch in a bit higher, just failed into the prior highs there. As I say, I'm suspicious about this move up here. I think it's going to take at some stage take a bit of a hammering, but for now, largely going up there. Maybe a break of this trend line will at some point we'll see it roll back somewhat, but. Just looking at the oil stocks, US oil stocks starting to build again. This $50 barrel will get more countries like the US pumping more oil out because it's all coming back into line, and it will just build up stocks again. So I'm just wary about this at this stage. I think it's too early in a sense that it's pushed up there, but it's up there, and I can't fight that. But I will look at maybe some shorts at some stage. Okay, maybe even sooner rather than later, although my preference is to trade this in the afternoons because that's when the real volumes come into it. Okay, finally then, just looking here for Bitcoin on my right list. Let me just get a list in and bring my Bitcoin in here. Bitcoin's been having a bit more of a struggle. It's not really doing too much solidly. It's dancing around. If you can see, sorry, you can see it. Bitcoin, it's just hanging in there. It's consolidating right the way through. In fact, I'll bring the futures on for this video. It'll be easier. Bitcoin futures, let's just run into dailies here, and you just see it just continuing to consolidate in this phase. As I said last week or so, consolidation around is probably quite a good move. It may even break off a little bit softer. It's just on some of the lower time frames it's looking a little weaker, but it's quite a good thing for it. Get some consolidation in here, and then it gives it a better platform maybe for a further move up in the future. But for now, as I say, consolidation. Watch out, it may even pull back south a little bit, but I'm still quite bullish on that. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day. There's no questions there, so I will